Holy Vikings, we are live. Welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast, where we talk about everything theme parks, rides, roller coasters, all that sort of stuff. Thank you so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. We've got a very busy schedule tonight, packed podcast. We're going to be talking about Drayton Manor announcing their new Vikings area, Enso at Blackpool Pleasure Beach's prices, Thorpe Park, their planning application for Exodus, Big One testing, Flamingo Land, their new looping coaster, blah blah blah. Loads of stuff.
Whatever they're doing over there.
Yeah, we're on mute now, Sean.
Are they even building a coaster? I don't know. Has anyone actually seen it? But there we go. How are you guys? How are you doing, guys?
Freaking amazing. Thank you.
Very good. Look at my boys. Look at my boys.
Yeah, we got. Yeah, shall we address the elephant in the room?
I just want to say first before we talk about what
shall we put context for no one first, or
yeah, sure, go on.
Yeah, let me put context on this first. So obviously Drayton Manor, which we'll talk about their new Viking area in more detail, but obviously they released some artwork for the new area, some designs, and Luke and James was responsible for that. So, hey!
Well, not solely.
Not just us. So, this is what I wanted to say.
You just take the compliment first.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It was me, James, Dave, Pete, and Blakey under Coaster Gen. So, Coaster Gen did this, not just me or James. It was all of us. It was a massive collaborative effort as well with the park and with a lot of people. It was just insane. I can't put it into words how today feels. It feels like an out-of-body experience, to be honest with you. It just feels crazy to see the reaction. I'm just so stoked that everyone is proper hyped for it. And it's like come across really well. And I'm so excited. I can't wait. It's been a dream come true, honestly. It really has to be able to do this. I don't know how you feel. I've not really asked James, like, how you feel. Like, how do you actually...
Yeah, now that it's surreal that everyone's actually seen it, like seen what we've seen for the past 4 months.
4 months
that we've been working on it, and just the excitement that I had seeing the plans for the first time and going, "This is going to be awesome," and then just kind of everyone else having that kind of same reaction that I did, and just can't wait for it to actually happen.
It was straight away. The reaction was just. Mind-boggling, insane, like how good it was. The reaction, so cool. I just can't wait. Like, can't wait to see it. Like, be there, see it. And... it's just insane. Honestly, it really is. And everyone who's been part of this has done an amazing job. So thanks, Dave. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Blakey, as well. Like, we wouldn't be able to do it.
When Drayton came to you with the I know you'd had conversations with them like leading up to the work being like started and done and everything, but like that I suppose that email or however it was of them like outlining what they wanted you to do, did you think it was a joke at first? Do you feel like someone was trolling you in the emails or something?
We kind of just didn't believe it. We were like, what
didn't believe it
is happening
right now? Like, it was just from day one, it was just a surreal experience. And when you're working on something for so long and like you look at it every day, and I'm still looking at it now and I'm thinking that could be better, this could be better, but when everybody else sees it, it's just such a different feeling. It really is difficult to explain, but I just want to thank everyone as well for all the tweets and comments and support that you've given. It's just been mind-blowing. Thank you
to Danielle for the
thank you
constant chat support with Luke.
Yeah,
and for not realizing that it was actually me working on.
That's the James.
That's so funny. She must have looked at that and think, who have you been telling about this?
Yeah. Yeah. No, It's no, it
Daniel.
honestly, it's great work, and obviously, like you say, it's an entire team behind it, plus Drayton as well. Yeah, it's everything that comes together, and yeah, it's great, man, and I'm really excited. I mean, let's just get straight into it, shall we? In terms of like the actual
Sure.
land, it looks so good. Obviously, Adventure Cove took it to kind of for Drayton anyway. For obviously they've had such a rough few years. For a part that was in administration not that long ago, we get Adventure Cove, which was just like an amazing refresh of an existing area, plus some new additions. And now that's got me so excited for this new area because I'm seeing like this artwork, and it's not a case of, oh well, if they get it right, it's like I know they will get it right because they did such a good job of Adventure Cove and River Rapids, sprucing all that up. So yeah, it's insane. And I've said on Twitter as well, I'm so excited the fact that I'm going to have a nebulous 15 minutes down the road for me.
Yeah.
The UK's first nebulous.
Yeah, man. I'm so hyped to get on that.
I'm so hyped.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't even know. I don't even
know.
know. I don't even know if I'll enjoy the ride, but I just think they look so cool.
Yeah.
Like, I just love watching them.
They're mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah.
They really are.
That's kind of been my thing with them. Like they look so much fun off ride, but the fact that the seat units don't spin upside down has me wondering how.
I feel like you're gonna get,
but like how
I feel like you're gonna get decent airtime out of it.
That's it. I think it's gonna be. That's what I'm hoping.
Like
I'm hoping it's gonna be like an airtime machine. Like I hope that's what in my head it's built just to give you airtime constantly.
Yeah.
But if it had spinning seats, I think it would be too much like what I can't remember the model is, but you know what they have out there already. What the hell are they called? Danielle's probably in here. The flipping planes that spin upside down.
Air
race. That's it. Yeah. And like I said last time, like I'm not a fan of that constant upside downness. So this one's more my jam. Definitely go for that.
I feel the same because you know how I feel about spinny rides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they've actually where is it? And also they're getting a horsey ride. That's that sounds like a big. That sounds like a big
so dodgy.
Horsey ride. I don't know what they're called. What are they called?
Pony track.
Pony track. That's it. But like that sounds like I'm joking, but honestly, like whenever me and Joe see one of them, we always go on it because they're just so funny. Like, so, they're just hilarious. There's a video somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I've got it on my computer somewhere of me and Joe at the one in Toverland, and it's just hilarious. It's just like when you go along and then you pass each other.
There it is.
So funny. There we go.
Still weird.
There we
seeing
have it. Yeah. This duck thing, man. Like, what has Aaron started? Like,
Aaron has started
everywhere.
We want a duck bin. I agree with Viking duck bin.
Yeah, Viking duck bin would be so good.
If that becomes a thing, that would be so funny.
It would actually be hilarious.
That would be so funny.
Aaron's
but I mean,
one thing I like about. Oh, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you go ahead, mate. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like one thing that I like about the sign for this new area is that it gives the idea that the area doesn't take itself too seriously. Like it's not like a really like intimidating or menacing font on the lettering. Like the shield and horns behind it is really cartoonish. Like it's given like a very inclusive area in the sense of just like being aimed at from everyone from kids to grandparents.
It's not meant to be Valhalla. You know what I mean? It's a fun take on the Viking.
Sure.
That's what I'm picking up from it. And I actually really like that the Vikings logo.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really cool. I really hope that these cracks in the floor are there. Like, that's gonna be. I just love that thing. One of the big things about Mythica at Legoland is the floor. It looks cool because there's got cracks all in it, and things like that. I look that they're like the little details that I think a lot of parks in the UK miss, which is just what does the floor look like?
Yeah.
And I think it's good to see that that's going in that direction. Also, just I think like these things at the side, like the banners. Are these going to act as anything else? Do we know, or are they just banners? Are they going to be like lights or?
I was thinking that
not
myself,
actually sure about that.
Not actually sure, to be honest with you.
Because I even if they're just banners,
cool.
I think the banners themselves look cool because it's almost like you're being welcomed into the area.
Yeah.
Like
especially how they don't
like
carry
that.
on throughout the rest of the area. It's it seems like that is just that pathway into the main. Into the main section where the Nebulous is.
But the Buffalo Coaster, it's so weird that Buffalo Coaster is being rethemed because obviously that is something from my childhood, and the fact that it's even standing still is like insane. The fact that it's being rethemed into a Viking is mental.
Take a drink for every time that name gets pronounced incorrectly.
Oh my god! Shall we go through the names here?
First of all, I can't even pronounce some of them. So
to be fair though, let's just say I'm very flipping happy that we're getting a disco coaster model, like not just your standard half pipe one. Like I love them. They're wicked. And we was talking about this a couple of episodes ago, but like Drayton is actually like it feels like in this country as well, like a disco. It's kind of like a staple ride that you need in most theme parks because it's that like
so
gap.
Many parks have them.
But there's a reason for that because they fill in that gap for like families.
They are fun.
They are very fun, especially these ones, these coaster models. Like they're pretty intense. Like they're not like
you do get a good kick of airtime.
You get
especially on Cobra.
Definitely.
Like like they are like very like it is a kind of a meme to it. Like everyone's got them, but there is a reason for it. It's because like everyone can pretty much do them.
It makes a lot of sense for family parks in the UK to have them.
And it's almost like if you haven't got one, why haven't you got one? So you kind of just do need one. So so they've released the names for the area of the rides. The disco coaster is Thor, which solid name. Like why you don't need that is I love the fact that it's following a pattern here. We've got Loki.
Jamie's given us pronunciation of one of them.
Jormungandr.
That sounds like you're gonna say your mum joke. Then
I thought that's what he was trying to do. I thought he was taking the piss at first. I thought he was
gonna say like when you your mum Jormungandr. That's how I'd say it. So the actual real pronunciation has got like a tsh on the end, so it's like Jormungandr. Like it's weird, man. Like the actual proper pronunciation, but no one's gonna pronounce it like that.
No.
But so Loki is the Nebulous. Loki, sorry.
Loki.
I was going to say who?
Loki.
Do you even like Marvel?
So who's having a go at this?
Schleppnir.
That is what is that? Is that the pony trek?
That is, I think that's
Schleppnir.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, mythical horse. And Buffalo Coaster is Jorm. I'm sorry, Dre.
Jormungandr.
It's such a stupid name. Like, like it's just mad. Like my only criticism of that is the fact that I can't see like Brummy families that have just gone
Jormungandr.
Instead of going, let's go watch, let's go ride Buffalo Coaster. It's let's go ride Jormungandr. Like
they're definitely just going to continue calling it Buffalo Coaster.
I'm positive that it's just that's so funny. But
one thing about Jormungandr though, like I like that they incorporated the
rolls off the tongue.
I like that they included they made the entrance portal to the area to include the part of Jormungandr where it passes over it. So that's going to add like a lot of kinetic energy as people walk into the park. Like that's gonna be a really cool visual.
For me, one of the biggest things of this is the fact that Buffalo Coaster is like just no longer by itself. Like it's always felt like it's just out of the way. Like people, like unless you're like heading to it because you see it across the lake, like people can just easily miss that thing. Yeah. So the fact that you go over there now and there's going to be a whole land is just is amazing. And
you know what? Danielle want us to Google Jormungandr?
I don't know. I shouldn't do that on a. I feel like some dodgy.
Jormungandr isn't too bad. Do not Google Schleppnir.
Okay, right.
Do not.
Norse
mythology is weird. I'm just going to say that.
I've definitely been tricked by that one too many times.
Vikings.
Can someone Google Jormungandr?
Mate, yeah, when you lot do it, let us know how that goes.
Coaster. Hello, Aaron.
So we come into the controversial one. It is. I'm right in saying that it is pronounced Valhalla. Like I'm sure, like
in the video that Danielle posted earlier. Yeah, she said Valhalla.
Yeah, it is. It's pronounced.
Valhalla. Why hasn't Valhalla got a W in the other place?
I this entire time I've been calling it Valhalla.
Yeah, Valhalla.
I'd say it says Valhalla. Should I just call it Valhalla? To be fair, because I was saying this, I was like, it's a food and drink store. Pleasure Beach don't have rights over the name of actual Viking mythology. Valhalla is mentioned in a lot of different things.
And if anything, for what they've shown so far, Blackpool with Valhalla, the reimagining or whatever you want to call it, it's very Assassin's Creedy. Like it's very touchy to that franchise. What I've seen so far, very close.
Oh, shout out to Coaster Inc., otherwise known as Pete.
Yes, Coaster Inc. is Pete. Go
out.
Subscribe to his channel.
Danielle, I need you to be honest with us. When Drayton Manor gave that knockout punch to Pleasure Beach in the little dispute you guys had earlier today, was that you who said that?
Do you want to explain that exchange?
So let me see if I can find it. I haven't got it.
Oh jeez.
I don't know why, but I don't know why you think there's a person behind Drayton Manor's Twitter. It's just
Drayton Manor is just an entity.
It's like an entity. It's like
I stand corrected then. Who?
Yeah, there's no one behind it. That's like trying to say Santa's not real or something. I don't know.
Whoa,
it's just
what?
Oh no, I'm saying it's like.
Whoa,
people say.
I was not ready for that.
Whoa.
People say Santa's not real, but where's the evidence?
We have a maybe. Cross that now.
Yeah. So
it was amazing.
I think the theme park banter at the moment, like across our socials.
Yeah, I'll get it up on here.
It's epic. Like across all the socials.
It was fucking amazing. I've got all the time in the world for.
Did you notice that
pettiness?
Everything for Iron Gwazi in one of the quotes in the videos was better than Velocicoaster.
Tweets and replies
was put in bold on one of their videos.
Who said that? Wait, what?
Busch Gardens did. On one of their promotional videos, when they get it's amazing. Good. Come and ride it, and it was like better than Velocicoaster.
They're gonna say
what?
So so this is how it went. So Pleasure Beach did this like Mr. Bean meme of like copying homework, suggesting that Drayton are copying their homework. So Drayton went home gang, and then Pleasure Beach went the whole when you order from Wish. Which, to be fair, is a pretty funny tweet in itself. And then they need to give a heart to them. There you go. Sorry, I'm missing out. When you order from Wish, Valhalla.
You gotta set up this punch. You gotta set up this knockout punch though.
I'm trying to think of podcast listeners that can't see this. So can someone describe this image that better than I can?
So it's Jason Momoa. Just being Aquaman as
being
Valhalla.
A specimen,
and then some random scrawny guy coming out of the water.
Aqua boy, I think.
Aqua Boy,
Aqua Boy. and then Drayton Manor follow up with at least ours will be open on time. Jeez.
And you put
yeah, I put mum and dad, please stop arguing.
Question is, which one's the mum, which one's the dad?
Yeah, I don't know that one.
No.
I'd say Pleasure Beach or the dad, because like I'd feel more comfortable getting absolutely drunk in front of my dad than my mum. So
And you have got absolutely drunk in...
Drayton's a more wholesome park. Yeah. Pleasure Beach is like, lads, let's get on it. But yeah, but there we have it. So yeah, Walhalla. No, I'm still going to call it Walhalla. I don't care. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, Walhalla.
You know what? It's actually I don't like calling it that has like created some buzz, and you can't really buy that type of marketing. The fact that everyone's talking about it and it's just created some funny moments, so it's worked out very well. Viking themed hotel rooms. So some of the hotel rooms are going to be themed after the Viking brand, which is really, really cool. It's good to see that happening. And yeah, so that's about it at the minute. Really, really exciting stuff. It's great that it's out there in the open now.
Apparently,
you know, there's been like construction videos and stuff being uploaded. So I'm just glad that it's all out there now, because it's just annoying when you just keep seeing like construction things happening, and then you're just like, well, what is it actually going to look like? You know, and then we get a clear vision, especially as I've seen some of these like roofing and stuff going up and that. And I've seen the nebulous with my own eyes. It's there. It's actually there right now.
Has the time frame for when it's going to open been
not confirmed yet?
Not confirmed. Not confirmed.
Okay. I just can't wait to see it. Like, I just can't wait to get on the ride, see it, the atmosphere. Oh man, it's gonna be so cool. Can't wait for opening.
And then hopefully, if a coaster comes one day, it can circle the area over the lake. Imagine that. Oh,
don't.
Well, they've talked about
imagine.
Like big investment or a big investment for next year, haven't they?
But realistically, if they building a new coaster, I don't think it'll be next year. Do you?
I think it will.
How, like, surely
I haven't really given it that much thought. I'm going to be honest with you, but
I don't know. Some kind of ground. I don't know. Depends what it is, I guess. But I can't see it being that close, personally. But
we've said multiple times on this podcast what Drayton should build. Like, there's so many options.
I was going to say, like, if it was so, Adventure Cove opened last year, right?
Yeah.
Right. So this is back-to-back years of investments. So, like, just number one, like, I couldn't see it being out of the question for it being next year because of that. But if it was to be something like on the scale of a significant level family thrill coaster, like an Intamin quad or like a Gerstlauer family coaster.
Well, that's funny you say that. We said that like last week, I think.
I mean, like I could see them, you know, debuting that next year. If it's like, I don't know what the chances are of Drayton getting just like a massive thrill coaster. That would probably take a couple of years. But if it's something like you know, a really high quality family or family thrill coaster that's not going to be as costly of an investment, I could see them opening that up next year.
So this apparently is them sharing some of the area off.
Yes, this was on YouTube.
Nice internet.
Just StreamYard, man. Honestly, StreamYard just does not like me using YouTube. It's so weird.
It's the nebula.
Look at that. Look how well. Look at it all themed up, man. It looks so good.
So awesome.
It's like wooden. That the middle of it's like some kind of shield. It looks like. And it's almost like a watchtower. In the middle of it, it's like a watchtower type of situation going on there.
It almost looks like the Sharingan from Naruto. No anime.
Yeah.
No anime fans, just me. Okay.
I kind of get that. Yeah. Never thought of
that. Just a little.
You mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, it's not playing ball, so more
Not having
it.
Yeah. So anyway, there is other news. There is another news to talk about.
Moving swiftly on.
So let's get into it with Enso pricing has been released.
Here we go.
I've spent the last week like debating people on this stuff. So I'm kind of tired of it, but
you
so
went crazy. You know what's so before we do, you know what's so funny about you on Twitter, right? Like I could just tell when you start to get vocal on Twitter, I'm just like, oh, Sean's got time today. Like he's got a day.
Yeah. Normally I've got like no time, and then like they'll be like, I'll think of like Saturday. I got into the biggest discussion ever, and it was like Saturday morning. I was like, oh, I didn't even have the day free. I had like after like the morning free basically, and then suddenly because I put that out, like the tweet I said was not even like that. Like crazy, but it's just people don't read tweets and then they start saying I'm saying something that I'm not saying. You know how it goes, man. But anyway, so yeah, Enso, right? So for the standard ticket is £15, and the way that works is that you will wait the same time as the normal line, but you don't actually have to stand in line. You can go away and you'll get a notification when it's your time to go on it, which is really good. In my opinion, that's as good as Fast Pass in a way, because you can go and do other rides. You can go do whatever you like, really. So it's better than having to stand in line, I guess. Or then the VIP version is £25. And that is basically Fast Pass. So that's your two options. So yeah, what's everyone's thoughts on that?
Oh, and if you've already purchased the Fast Pass package, you don't have to pay 25, you pay 15, but still get the Fast Pass, skipping 90% of the queue.
Okay,
basically.
Fair enough. Yeah,
that was another extra bit there.
So, what's everyone's thoughts?
I don't really have much thoughts on it other than I'm not paying it.
Okay, fair enough.
Personally. Just get that out of the way.
I think I'll do it once and then that's it. I understand the reasons why they have to do what they're doing and how they're doing it. What I don't get is they know the type of people that are going to want to do this every time they visit, and it feels like a bit of a slap in the face, not going to lie. Like, to hardcore Icon enthusiasts and roller coaster enthusiasts in the UK and everyone that's coming over to ride Icon, I feel like it's going to be, oh, did you do Enso? Oh, you didn't. Oh, you missed out. Like, it's like when Swan was Brave It Backwards. It was free, right? That had a new line.
Yes.
That had a new experience. That completely changed the ride. Whereas this is...
Was that the one train as well? Was that one train as well?
No,
no.
Two trains.
Brave It Backwards was both the trains, and it was both back rows.
Back rows, yeah, both.
So you had 8 people per train that were going backwards. You've only got 2 on Enso. I get why it's the upcharge.
One out of 3 trains as well.
Yeah. So it's very, very limited. The amount. So they need a way. They need a way to.
No, what I'm comparing it to is a theme park delivering a different experience, one charging and one not. I'm not comparing the rides at all. That's all I'm comparing.
No, it's not the rides, but it's the setup of it. Like, you can't, like, honestly, I personally think, like, if you could never make Enso free. Like, you just couldn't. There's nowhere for them to queue. We've had this conversation before, haven't we? There's literally no space for anyone to queue in there. It's got about we worked it out, about 300 people per day Enso could take. That's based on 3 trains operating and then one of them coming into station. It's 300 people per day. Darren Brown can take like 700 people per hour. The same with like Black Mirror, like, you know, and that's considered low throughput. So when you think 300 people per day, when you have every enthusiast going to Pleasure Beach when it first opens, like how would they? I don't know, how would they manage that personally without making it like a premium price to basically put people off buying it? Which it sounds really bad. It is harsh.
It's not put me off doing it once. I said I would do it once.
Yeah.
And then if I would rather do that than buy a hoodie on one trip to Blackpool, cool. I might do it and I might not enjoy it. I don't particularly like spinning. Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm kind of like on the fence about. I don't know how it's going to feel. And I want to do it once just to get the experience. Do I believe in it as a way to move forward with, you know, if you were going to do this, if they knew they were going to do this, they might not have done. I'm not saying they did or they didn't. Plan better. Like, if Mack knew they were going to deliver this, they'd been doing Blue Fire spinny seats for a long time now. You know, when they were doing the prototypes. Plan better. You can build a new queue line. You've got lots of room. There's not lots of room. We've been down there. You could set a new queue line up for Icon for Enso. Somehow, you could. And as a theme park, if you can't figure that out, you should be looking at how to do things slightly better, in my opinion.
I don't know. You know, what,
even Icon's queue line was never that big in the first place.
No, it shouldn't be free. I agree. It shouldn't be free. No, but it shouldn't be 15 quid and 25. It should be 25.
25 is like out of the question.
A fast track to ride the Smiler is £10.
Yeah, which is expensive.
Yes, but I would pay £10 to ride Enso. Because if Wickerman's got a queue, Smiler's got a queue, I can pay £10 to get a fast track if I can get one. That's going to be the problem for Enso, actually, is going to be, can you get a ticket? Because lots of people are going to do it.
I generally don't think they could build a new queue for Icon. I can't see where it is because where we went down into Icon Garden, like you're going underneath track, you're going into the ride area.
Maybe a new queue is coming.
I can't see it.
No. I can.
I can't see where would they build it though. You've got
not my problem.
The line state. It is because you're proposing it. You're proposing it, so it is your problem. You got to come up with an option here. How would they build it? Because like this one side of the station is so skinny anyway. Like even when you're in the normal queue, like when you're inside, that's skinny, and then you've got the accessibility and speedy pass, but it's generally just for accessibility issue. So you can't make that. Then the Enso line, you can't do the exit because you've got steps going all the way down it. Either side of that is ride area, surrounded by ride. So your only other option would be to come the way we went down into Icon Garden. Again, you're going into ride area. I can't just. You'd have to like build steps over the track, like a bridge over the track. But even then, it'd be too sharp. I mean, you've built paths in Planet Coaster. You know how it goes. You can't fucking build.
Oh, don't even talk to me about paths in Planet Coaster. That's the last thing I want to talk about.
But yeah, I can't see them building a new. The only way I could possibly see them doing it is where you walk into the accessibility line and speedy pass is there's like a little courtyard. It's like right by you go past Big Dipper, don't you? Go down the steps, you go in that way. You could potentially hold some kind of holding pen thing in there, like a line that you could just like bring people in when it's their time. But then I don't even know if that's possible because then you're encroaching onto like the exit of Big Dipper, and I don't know, like, but you know what I personally think. I think they've made it this price because they have to at the minute, purely because of
everyone's gonna do it.
But once that hype dies down, I expect that price is going to drop down. I definitely think it will.
What happens?
So I've just been reading the information on the website, and it mentions that so just how the experience is at the moment. It mentions that when purchasing a standard Enso ride, you'll have the same wait time as the current queue, but you won't have to stand in line. So you'll be given a timer or just like timer going down, and then you can head to the Enso entrance. Is that just like the Enso entrance just the Speedy Pass entrance.
Yeah, it will be
Most
Speedy
likely,
Pass.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Because they already have that type of like ticket anyway, where you just like virtual queuing. They did that, so it'll be the same sort of deal with that.
That might be how they're just gonna do Enso without building a new queue. It will
Yeah,
always be virtual.
It solves the problem. You don't need to build a queue.
That sounds like they eliminate the problem of having to.
Yeah, you don't need.
And
to
you're
build
saying
another
that
queue.
everyone gets a time, and there's only 300 people per day throughput. You don't need a big queue.
But then we get to the point of like rise of resistance, like but even worse, where you have to get there when the flipping opens, and then you have to like go to a booking office. You won't be able to do it on your phone because there's no signal there, so you'll have to go to a booking office. I personally think that makes
Please
it
sort
more
that out. Like,
from what I've seen with Enso, apparently on the information, you can only do it through the app.
Yeah, you'll probably do it like before going into there, but so the other option, okay, say if they do it for the app, like that is gonna that's gonna be ridiculous. There's gonna be people waiting there to like book it, and then like just average person can't do it.
If the only way you can book it on the app, if the only way you can book it is on the app, then Blackpool has a serious issue on their hands with just getting signal around the park, because it's fucking impossible. Like how can you expect people to book something on an app when there's no internet to do so?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
there's going to be so many YouTube videos on.
But
that is
you could say that about pretty much any park in the UK has just tragic signal. I don't know what that's about. You know what? It's
really,
not even about.
I don't have half the problems at almost any of the other parks I do at Blackpool.
Alton Towers, you can't get any signal. You can't get any Wi-Fi, 4G in Alton Towers. It's like near impossible.
I can't remember it being that bad at Towers last year.
It depends, but it all depends on how many people in the park. So if you're in like a really quiet place, just the way it works, like you can't get signal. If it's a less busy day, you'll be fine. But most of the time, if you're in a really busy area, like you can't. To
be fair, I went on days last year, so
yeah. But like I say, I think my perspective is like people, like I understand people being like, this is too expensive, blah blah blah. What I don't agree with is people saying that it's like greedy. I don't think it is greedy personally. I think if you want to call Pleasure Beach, where like they frequently give you like season pass sales for like 90 quid. Last year I paid 40 quid for it in a sale from like going onto it. If any, they are not greedy. There's obviously reasons there. They've made it that the way it is. But also people were like comparing it to like the rising cost in living and fuel. I'm like, it's got nothing to do with
that was so
like,
tough.
That's like writing to Sony to say that's like writing to Sony to say, have you seen the fuel prices? Make your PlayStations cheaper, please. Like I'm like, it's at the end of the day, it's a luxury. Going to any, like I said on Twitter, going to any theme park is a luxury, whether it's your hobby or not. Like any hobby is a luxury. Like when I was skint, when I was like in my 20s, like if I couldn't afford something, I just didn't buy it. Like, like there's more important things in life. So I don't think you can compare it to that. And that not everyone was saying this. A very few select people were saying like how bad it was of them to do it in these times. And I was just, I personally, I'm not saying that's a wrong opinion to have. I just don't agree with it. And I think it's a completely different thing. But yeah, I think everyone's like crying about it and stuff. And I think in literally in like 2 months, like it will probably be like £5 to ride Enso, and then everyone will be like, "What were we all crying about?"
I should not be feeding my children this year as I want to ride Enso.
Yeah.
Oh my message I put on the chat hasn't come through. Oh no. Did come through to StreamYard.
Oh,
weird. But yeah, from Pleasure Beach website, both will only be able to be booked via Blackpool Pleasure Beach's app on the day of your visit.
On the day of you go,
you'll not be able to buy it.
I wonder.
That means you can book it when you wake up. So I don't think the Wi-Fi thing will be an issue.
I wonder if, do you know when you go through a ticket for a day, you get the option of a speedy pass. Yeah. When you book your tickets for Blackpool, you guys are season pass holders, so you probably won't do it. But when I book a ticket, I book the ticket for the day, which is £35, and it gives me options of food all day and all that kind of stuff and add on. Do you reckon we'll get an Enso button? Add it on
probably
at launch. No,
probably not at launch. Yeah, but probably
and then add it to your app.
Further down the line, maybe.
Which you'll get 2 e-tickets instead of 1. So you get 1 for your rides, the one you scan, and then 1 for Enso underneath it on a swipe or something. I think that would work.
Yeah, no,
if you're going to go there to do Enso, if you live in England, you've already done Icon, possibly. For most people, are going back to do Enso, so they want that day to include that. So if you can, book that
but also I don't.
Do season pass get discount as well? That's the thing I want to ask.
No. But also the way you said that was people were going, well, I'll pay £40 and then pay £15 to do Enso. I'm like, yeah, but you don't think about days in that term. You don't go, I'm going to pay £40. I'm going to buy this bit of merch. I'm then going to buy this.
You do if you budget.
But like if you're budgeting, but like if you're going to Blackpool Pleasure Beach and you're paying 40 quid to go in, you're going in for the park. Like I don't understand that theory of like it's an upcharge attraction at the end of the day. So I don't.
It's the same way as I approach Passage or when I do the dungeons, for example. Like I do.
Obviously, you will budget. Well, yeah. If you know you're going to do it, you're going to go. I can't afford it.
I see what Sean's saying in the sense that it's basically the same as. Yeah, it's basically the same as spending money on just anything else past paying the money to get in the park itself.
But Pleasure Beach aren't like responsible for going, okay, we got to bring our ticket price down because they want to go do Passage or because they want to then buy a hoodie. Do you know what I mean? It's like you can't. What I'm saying really is people are saying it's going to be £40 plus £15, and it's like, well, yeah, it is, but like that's if you want to do Enso, like, and not everyone's going to do Enso all the time. And it's like people. I mean, I'm the same. Like, I will pay £15. I mean, to be honest, it's common sense. Like, I'll pay £15 if I don't find it's worth £15. Of course, I'm not going to do it again. Like, that's how buying things work.
Exactly.
If you do something,
and that's why I'm most. I mean, obviously, never say never, but I mean, I've ridden Mack spinning coasters. For me, like Mack spinning coasters don't spin enough for the experience to be that much different than just riding it facing forward.
That's what I'm worried about.
For me,
I think it will,
it's not gonna offer that drastic of a difference.
I don't know. I disagree a little bit because then you could just say, well, just make like Ride to Happiness a time traveler. Just don't make it a spinning coaster. Like, I think even if you're like facing sideways on Icon, you're still on Icon going sideways. Like, it's still like a different experience, isn't it?
I'm not saying I'm not saying it's not a different experience. I'm saying it's not gonna offer that much of a heightened experience for me personally.
Yeah,
because Time Traveler, one of my main pet peeves with Time Traveler is that it doesn't spin enough. It doesn't spin fast enough. Like,
no, I hear that, and I don't know. I'm hopeful because Pleasure Beach is pretty windy. maybe that.
That took me a second to realize.
Maybe that might add to it. Like, so Sam said,
get a strong gust on that.
Already... Sam Spy said £40 is already quite high for a day entry in the UK, though. It is. It definitely is.
All theme park day entries.
But 30, like I think Portland's Park is around that now. And I think we've said on the podcast before is Portland's Park charge such a high price, so they don't offer like fast track. So it tends to be like if you charge a higher amount of money, it means you don't have as many people in the park who have just been like on a whim, like walking past, like let's go in. So then the guest experience like goes higher because there's less people on park, there's less queues, there's less just like stuff going on, and like it's less hectic. So guest satisfaction is higher. Guest satisfaction is higher at parks that charge a better park gate because you get more stuff. It's more chilled day. There's less fast passes being sold, which means you're not standing in the queue for ages. So there's this
and for a park with the kind of investments like Tornado Springs, for a park to not be owned by, you know, like a massive parent company,
massive conglomerate,
that money has to come from somewhere.
Like, that's it. And this has always been my argument for parks in this country that like offer like discounts, like, you know, like 2-for-1s. Like, they're great, don't get me wrong, but you go on a Saturday when everyone's there in 2-for-1s and stuff, and guest satisfaction goes through the floor basically, because there's just too many people in the park.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like you're charging half the gate ticket. Why? Like, from a business perspective, like I say, I don't know how to. I don't run a park, and I don't want parks to become like this whole like, I don't know, class thing where only like people with a certain amount of money can go to it. But should parks just be classed as, away from a hobbyist, should they just be that what parks are and what parks have always been is like, you go once a year. The average family will go once a year, and it's a treat. It's a getaway. If you're an enthusiast, that's why you get a season pass, and that's what the season passes are there for, because then you just pay, you know, your price, and then you get to do it as many times as you want. So I do agree, £40 is expensive, and I wouldn't be paying, if I didn't have a season pass, I'd probably be going to Pleasure Beach twice a year max, maybe more if I was like doing an event with Pleasure Beach Experience. That's why, but I want to go to these parks more, so I save up and I budget that. But yeah, it's just a hard, I don't know, it's a hard one. It's like, you have UK, everyone can go to a park, but then you get a really, really busy day. Okay, well, you make it more expensive, and then you have a better day. I don't it's a weird one. It's doesn't work in my brain how you would even that out. I don't know.
No, I just think just going back to Enso, like, I think give it a go. I think Mikhail, you should do it. You should just do it once. Like, I mean, yes, you've done Time Traveler. Yes, it might not have spanned as much, but did you have as much interaction with things like Icon does, like the amount of interaction with other rides it has?
Well, but see, like, I feel like I'm in the minority in that. Like, I don't like, I like spinning coasters. And I mean, this is just off on a tangent as well. We'll get back to what we're talking about, but like, I like spinning coasters, but I'm not so enamored by them that it does. It raises the. It's so much more of an experience than just, you know, going forward or backward or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying people shouldn't do it, especially if they haven't done that many spinning coaster experiences, like from Mack or from Mauro or whoever.
Yeah.
But and if you're someone who has an affinity to spinning coaster to the spinning coaster experience as opposed to just the normal coaster experience, then absolutely go for it at least once. And if you feel like it's not worth the money, then you don't have to do it again. But just for me personally, like Ride to Happiness is a bit of a is a bit of an outlier because like the elements on that thing are fucking ridiculous. So
they're made to spin, right? They're made to spin.
Like, I don't like, sure, and but just like, unless it's something like a Ride to Happiness, which is you can just tell, like, the experience is going to be something, you know, outrageous, not even just because it spins, but because of the elements it has. I don't really see the draw to it personally. Nah. And I love Icon's back row just normally. Yeah, like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite place to ride it.
You know what? That's why when people go, well, they should have put in more back rows, and I was like, no, because you don't want to get rid of. You don't want to take the back row option off Icon. Like,
I'm so glad they're only putting it on.
Like, I would be actually annoyed if they took away the option to have a back row ride, and even if they put it on 2, like then there might be the option where they just run 2 back row spinning, like Enso trains, and I wouldn't have liked that, because I'm like, well, you're taking away. And also the back row on Icon trains are the big boy seats as well.
Yes, I was going to
Yeah,
mention
they are.
that.
They
You
are,
have to
yeah.
take you have to take that into consideration.
So-
is that if it wasn't, so
Are they going to do a test seat for Enso?
well, they don't do it. They've got a
No,
test seat for
you
Icon.
haven't.
No,
But the
So I
point
don't
is
think they
that
will.
the
No,
back
no.
is the big boy seats.
yeah, you'd
Are the
think you'd
skinny
Have
seats
they
the
not
big
made
boy
the
seats?
seats not the same size seats
Potentially,
as
but
what the back row usually is?
yes,
Because
but
beefy.
wouldn't it be nice to
They
know?
look very beefy
Yeah.
from
they look massive.
that video that they posted the other day.
Wouldn't it be nice to know
when we
though?
trained together.
Yeah, before you buy your ticket.
Before
I-
you
I'm
pay
assuming they
£15
will-
for it. Yeah.
They will
Yeah.
state like recommended and like largest kind of chest size
Yeah.
and stuff.
Shall we just go through the comments and see what people? Because we're missing
Yeah.
comments here.
Yeah,
Say,
it's
Dan, thank
it's
you.
a whole
Thanks, Dan.
conversation going on.
yeah.
there is.
Hi,
Keep it
hi,
going.
Dan. How you doing? He said congrats
Oh, Dan.
on the Drayton render.
Thank you.
We love the
Thank you so much.
Do we think there's a permanent thing? I think it depends on how it goes. Personally, I think if it sells, then yes. If no, maybe not. So
It
we'll
was
see.
a lot more of a change than what Thorpe did with the Swarm.
Yeah.
The Swarm, they
That was
just were able to flip the seat round. This, they've had to actually
They've had to
install
buy it.
in
Yeah, they've had to pay for
new
it.
hardware for it.
Oh yeah. So Emma from Top Futura said, "Shall I let you know how it spins on Saturday?" Because they're going to Plopsaland on
Nice.
Saturday, and then they'll be going to Alton on Sunday, I think. So
Wow.
or them gang. So yeah, they're going for it, man. They're
Yeah.
gonna be knackered.
As you should.
Sam said again though, I don't mind paying a lot for Enso. It's just the fact it's only one go. Like let me lay 50, 60 pounds for the full day. And Sam saying if he would happily pay 50, 60 pounds for an all day pass.
I wonder how many people would agree with that.
I've seen a lot of people saying they would pay
Maybe.
a lot higher price if it was like unlimited on it. Because that's the thing. Like I do understand that, because as enthusiasts, you can't judge an experience. You can't judge a coaster off like one go. Like it's
Yeah.
impossible. Like you can't. Time of day, and
Got to,
everything. But yeah, so I've seen that a lot. But again, I keep saying I've said before though. Give this a few months. I think the price will dramatically come down, like massively, and then everyone will be like, "Do you remember when we was all moaning about Enso being expensive?" I think this is just like this is a thing that's going to cope with the the hype for it. Because imagine if all the enthusiasts went to Enso, because it would be when it first opens, it will be like an opening day.
Yeah.
It will like an opening day for a brand new coaster. That's hundreds of people. Like
Yeah.
how
Thousands.
Enzo ain't going to cope with it. So
No.
I don't
Thousands
know
of
how
people.
it's. You reckon thousands?
Yeah. I reckon a lot of people will try and get on it.
Yeah.
And they might have to
I don't
honor
know.
the purchase and then say come back another day. Like there might actually be a waiting list. For
It's
this damn thing.
it's going to be a
Maybe
lot. It's
they'll
going to be a
sell-
lot of people
yeah.
wanting to have that one go. On
Yeah.
Yeah.
It, isn't it?
Absolutely. I do want to have that one go on it. Definitely.
I think the key is they might have to sell tickets to start with, because that's just going to be. It's going to have a lot of unhappy people if everyone turns up and only
It's going to take a
200 odd
lot
people.
of trial and error, I think,
Mm.
to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So
At
it will
what point
be-
during the day do you think they'll just have to stop giving people times?
well, it will be straight away. Like to begin with, they'll sell out in the morning. Like in the morning it'll be gone, because if it's a day, when you wake up, everyone will just go on their app and then just like book it.
Yeah.
It's like when you. I don't know if it's still like this now. I think it might be, but when you could only make like dinner reservations at the restaurants like the day of your ticket is. So you would just wake up, make your like pizza pasta or whatever. Well, pizza buffet, sorry, and then do that. So it's going to be the same sort of thing.
Oh, pizza pasta. Why do you have to say that?
I know, it made me hungry now. Mark said, for some reason, people think Pleasure Beach, Blackpool Pleasure Beach should be cheap. They have the same running costs of all other parks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I think the problem we have in this country is that parks are generally quite cheap when you compare them to European parks and American parks. Away from like your Six Flags and things like that are like massive companies. But you know, we got to remember, like, most of our theme parks in this country are ran by like the second biggest theme park owner in the world, and they generally can make tickets like a lot cheaper. So we tend to compare them. And so when you get, like, you know, Drayton is like £30, 30, I think £30 or £35 entry. Portland's is like £40. Pleasure Beach is now £40 as well. And they're independent parks. Well, not actually. Drayton's not independent anymore, so I don't know what I'm saying. Shut up, Sean. Anyway,
that's your local as well.
Yeah.
It's back garden, man. Like, legit.
Mate, it's a bit, you know, but my whole life it's been independent, so I'm still
true.
So, can we lean forward and lift our jackets up like Batman to create a wind sail and make it spin faster? You know what? We could buy the flags, but they sell in the Pleasure Beach shop. That could be another upcharge. Just set a little mast.
Watch fucking
in a vending
flag
machine.
Prices go up like tomorrow. At the park.
So Sam was saying Portland's charge more because they don't have fast track. Pleasure Beach do! ! But like, I think less people buy fast tracks at Pleasure Beach. That's the kind of point. It's like there's not as many. Like you look at the ride, you look at the queues for Pleasure Beach's fast tracks, and there's not many because you're not really waiting that much. Like, even on a busy day, Icon, for example, gets through that. Like, even like Big Dipper, like they get through.
I've never queued
their
more than 40 minutes
there.
for Icon on a really busy day from the gate.
Really
I've never queued more than 40 minutes. Never.
And I think that's down to the fact that they don't have to sell as many fast tracks.
Yeah,
it's not as advertised.
Blackpool also proudly advertise themselves as the most ride-intensive park in the country as well. Like,
different experiences for sure.
The price, like, it's pricing at parks isn't something that you can compare as closely as people want to believe you can. I don't think, because there's so many differing costs,
variables
that are proportional and put in place and that are proportional to how much the park has to spend individually on different things. How much Blackpool has to spend is not going to be the same as how much Portland's has to spend for various reasons. So like it's
and we'll never know them.
It doesn't come down to one thing. It never comes down to just one thing. It's never that black and white.
No.
Yeah. And also, like, I imagine price, like going again to like how much like just food and fuel and stuff is going up. Like, I think it would be pretty silly to think that parks aren't also going through this as well. Like, they're also buying food, they're also going through fuel, they are also using energy, they're using heating, they're using gas and everything. Like, so everything is just, that's how inflation works, isn't it? Like, things just naturally have to go up. But I think the kind of benefit to this, if it is I don't know if you can call it a benefit, but to parks anyway, is the fact that I think less people are going to be going on holiday this year, because of like how expensive everything's going up. So we're going to have a repeat of last year, where I think a lot of people did staycations last year when actually this was really nice doing a staycation. So there might be a repeat of that again. So I think that might work in the parks like favor really. So
should we touch on the news that's just come out literally just now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What?
We weren't going to discuss it earlier. Busch Gardens, the rumor of Kumba being removed at some point.
Just come out.
Busch Gardens have literally just released a thing on Twitter saying, "Hear this roar, it's not going anywhere." Yeah. They've confirmed they're not removing Kumba.
Oh my god! That's so
well, there you go.
So, breaking news:
the real Icon states.
Yeah, let me just share this. Then. Yeah, this is released like 15
literally
minutes
12
ago.
minutes ago.
Yeah.
Well, that's that rumor put to bed.
Hear this roar, it's not going anywhere.
Get in.
That's why that's great news. To be honest, that is great news. Such an iconic coaster. I did think, like, why would you do that?
I'll
like,
Discord later.
He wants to dip in now. He's like, what's going on? So yeah, there you go. We can strike that one up. Well, we wasn't even
so many places where this will be blowing up.
Yeah, we weren't going to even touch on it anyway for that reason. Was because we was like, it's not confirmed. Everyone's talking about it like it was confirmed, and yeah, there we go. So yeah, okay. So Thought Park planning application for Project Exodus goes live.
Before we, I am gonna say one thing though before we get onto Exodus.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good of Busch Gardens to get in front of it right now.
Yeah.
Instead of letting it linger for however long.
Yeah.
And then like giving an announcement like I don't know, the end of the summer or whenever.
They get
in front of it now before the rumors gain any more traction.
Absolutely.
But like they could have ride that wave and just got like even more people in the park.
Exactly.
Like,
which would have been disingenuous of them.
Well, I mean, they did do a thing which was someone put what was it? Cumber, so how will my test results start? Sorry, Cumber, you only got 6 months to live. And then Busch Gardens replied, plot twist, the doc pulled the wrong patient files. Cumber's not going anywhere, but we still definitely recommend riding it ASAP. So they're still wanting people to ride it.
All right. That's hilarious. So yeah, Exodus at Thought Park. Then
speaking of Mack coasters.
Speaking of Mack coasters. They have submitted their plan application. Who wants to take the lead on this?
James. I nominate James.
Yeah, go on, James.
Park guy.
They have now submitted their actual planning application after the public consultations went through. There was talk of them considering another track layout. It looks as if they are sticking with what originally was proposed in the consultation. There is, in the planning application, there is a file showing a proposed alternate layout, which actually looks to be a B&M hyper instead.
Yeah.
Which, just touching on that, if B&M were to do a hyper there, why in that area? Why not go up Monk's Walk to the old farm? Just such a better site.
Yeah.
So I don't get how
that's what I thought they would try to do with it.
But
I think it's clever though what they came up with, like using more of the space towards the inner side of the park,
using up towards like Slammer and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks like there is quite a lot packed into the short ride. Very, very high elements.
Yeah.
UK's tallest inversion, potentially Europe's. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But looking at the plans as well, there is drawings of a train, which does appear to be a Mack coaster train.
It's a Mack. Like it's been designed for a Mack. This layout, I think, like without doubt. Like it's just some of these elements on this coaster look bonkers. I mean, I did a very badly. Very quickly NL2 video on this. I got half the shit wrong, but it looks mental. I think Jammy did an amazing job on a recreation. Go and check that out on his channel. It just looks mental. Like seeing it from outside the park as well, from the planning permission, like from the motorway and from like the surrounding areas and stuff. Like you guys know, most of you know what Shambhala looks like from a distance. Imagine this at Thorpe. Like towers.
So
everything.
So I don't know if either of you can pull the picture I just put in our group chat on Twitter.
See it, but I can't get it onto the stream.
Oh, maybe only Sean can do it. But
Sean can do it, not us.
What the I was on the train of hoping it would be a B&M hyper. Or just like a more conventional hyper before we'd even like known about this Mack concept, like a B&M hyper or an Intamin hyper, something like that. I cannot tell you how glad I am to have been wrong.
Yeah,
and give me this over it. Yeah, give me this over a B&M hyper every day of the week, twice on Sundays, because of this first drop. If I haven't looked through the entire proposal on that Runnymede website, but I saw this image floating around, and if anyone's seen like the profiling on this drop, fuck right off. Are you seeing this shit? Like this is gonna be one of the best. If this is what gets built, this is going to be one of the best first drops on any coaster in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. Period. You're taking the 236 feet. If you look at where the track starts rolling, it doesn't start rolling until it's at least vertical.
Yeah.
So all the speed it's going to have going into that 180-degree roll, it rolls underneath itself, so you're not even going to see the bottom of the drop as you go over the crest. There it is. That's just going to be a ridiculous visual. And it's a 5-car train as well. So in that back row, row is going to send you halfway down the fucking M4. The yeet on that back row is oh man, like
and the whip.
I'm so glad, and the whip down like through the twist as well. It's going to be
on a nice
ridiculous. And that's only the start of it. Like this thing's going to be properly insane. And the thing about the reception to this concept at the moment is like most people's thing is it's short or whatever. This thing is packed with airtime in unconventional places, airtime in elements that you wouldn't expect there to be airtime, like inversions and stuff. Like once everyone gets on this and sees where the airtime is, and seeing how powerful it is, how powerful it's going to be, a lot of people are going to be changing their minds about it.
I think it's going to be an experience at FOP like no other coaster was ever delivered at FOP. This is going to be like groundbreaking. In terms of the whole coaster industry, the amount of whip airtime, fluidity to this layout as well. Everything flows, man. Everything flows, and it looks like even towards the end on the airtime hill, it's just gonna pop all the way through.
Yeah. If you look at the height differences between some of these elements, like the height difference from the first drop to the first Immelman, like how much shorter the first Immelman, like the Immelman is
gonna take quick.
The speed it's gonna go through that, and then like the sideways airtime hill after the dive loop. The sideways airtime hill is so much shorter. It's gonna fly through that.
But it's gonna do it the way
an insane layout.
It's gonna do it the way that the new coaster in China does.
Yeah.
I imagine the new Mack coaster.
If anyone's seen this, the recent videos that have been shared by Roller Coaster Dream, shout out them, on Twitter, the speed at which it goes through that Immelman, this Immelman on Exodus is going to be very, very similar.
I imagine so. It'll bloody shift. Yes, absolutely. We mentioned that earlier before we went live.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, no, I echo what Mikhail was saying. Like, yeah, the B&M would have been sick and everything, but would it not just been another hyper? Whereas here we're getting something that is like potentially. I mean, even saying potentially seems wrong. Like, if it turns out like this is a world class coaster. Like, it's gonna be insane. Like you say, I get these like where is it now? I'm gonna share my screen of Suzhou Forest Amusement Land, their new Mack coaster. The people have actually been riding it recently. This is the one you're talking about, Mikhail.
Yeah,
The color scheme for it as well is potentially quite an interesting one, because it looks like they're going for the same as what Stealth has.
Similar.
Similar.
This Amusement Insider did a render of it. on No Limits?
Yeah, I think you
But
did.
the thing is, right, what really struck me about this is we're always used to seeing rides testing and stuff, and we'll always see like overspeed tests, and we're used to seeing that and going, God, that's really fast. And then when it opens, it's always like a little bit slower than we thought. This has got people on it, and this is look at this, man.
That is hauling.
It's insane. Like,
Don't even get me started on this roll. This roll is
that's crazy. Look at the speed.
That's just a jactor through that immersion.
this is like a new era. This is like a new era for Mack now.
I think Mack have gone, what, we don't do fast coasters?
Yeah.
Like,
because their new layout designer apparently used to be, I don't know if he still is, very active in the No Limits community.
Right.
And he's responsible for Ride to Happiness. He's responsible for, I think, I can't remember what else he's responsible for, but he's responsible for a lot of new Mack thrill coasters that you just look at or ride and just think, what the fuck was that? Like, he's like, oh no, I'm an idiot. He's responsible for this. He's responsible for this one out in China as well. The whole the loop wrapping itself around the Valley of the Cobra Roll, like that was birthed off of a joke in the No Limits community. And I think anyone who's listening who may know this story better than I do, because I'm not active in the No Limits community or anything, but as far as I know, he issued like something like a challenge to try and get people to make that element work, the loop that wraps itself around the Cobra Roll, and make it work in a layout. So like, just like that sort of jokey idea has always existed in the No Limits community, and he's gone and fucking put it on an actual coaster.
It's mad. Cool.
It's insane. That's insane to me. But I love it. It's
just nice now how it's becoming a reality anyway now, and
and Thorpe's actually getting investment. Way,
yeah.
Finally.
What do you mean? Black Mirror was amazing.
Oh God, don't get me started on that. Steaming pilot.
Objectively, Black Mirror was a good attraction. The throughput of it lets it down. The throughput of
Taxi.
Remember, I experienced it as it was meant to be experienced, which was
with
like minimal people. Yeah. Well, no, we still queued for like a good, I think, like hour or something for it when we was doing it. But they weren't like cramming it with people. I think once you start cramming that attraction with people, it's bound to ruin it, because it ruins the illusion of being an amazing, because you can see people like when you go in it and there's like not many people in there, it just seems so vast and it's like really disorientating. So I can imagine it being full with people would just ruin it. But yeah,
it was a Congo line when I did it.
Yeah, which doesn't help then, because then you're just following the person in front of you.
Yeah.
And then they walk into a wall.
Moving swiftly through the maze of mirrors. What's next?
So, next up we have big one. It's testing at Pleasure Beach, man. Yes,
finally,
man.
And it's not having to jump the gap.
Yeah.
How about that?
All the cross ties.
Your worries have been put
in a row.
Still wish I got that cred. I'm not gonna lie.
The jump.
The jump.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was
sponsored by Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Nice.
No, but I mean that's about as much as we can say. I anticipate it'll be open. I reckon. Like next month. Do you think maybe? I reckon early next month. Personally. Well,
how many tests do they have? So how do they have to run a ride once a bit of track's been replaced?
I don't know, because
it's for like a week last year.
A little week, is that what it did?
on the last piece of retracking they did.
The big one is quite.
But this one's
new track it already
this
has
one.
as well.
This one is like a significant replacement though. It's like 300
Oh, it's huge.
feet of
Yeah.
track.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like I don't know if they have to like test it like it was new. I don't know.
If
like,
they've
I don't know.
reprofiled it, it's
I don't
quite
know.
close to some stuff. They might have to check clearances and stuff
Yeah.
again.
I reckon it would be more.
Which is why like I had seen some people asking why they left the scaffolding up while it was testing. It'll be so they can go back, so they can easily access it back in there and check everything and make any tweaks should they need to.
Yeah, because it's still
can
a
you
live
just-
park soon, isn't it?
Can you just
Yeah.
knock us up a new piece of track? This profile. Okay, yeah. Me down this afternoon.
Yeah. 1 hour later.
But no, I'm super excited for. I didn't realize like how much I'd miss Big One until like the opening weekend, and I was just like, it was a great weekend, and Icon did an amazing job of being able to soak up all the people. Surprisingly enough, like it did a great job of like getting everyone, on
two trains. Well, it wasn't even on 3 trains.
Yeah. So I thought it was good, but also there was a big hole left in that park that weekend for me, where it's just like, realistically, we might have not even got on it anyway. But also, I'm like, I just can't wait for it to open back up, and it's not complete without
it was quite. It was quite sad walking past Nash and it not being active as it usually is as well on open day. I did feel that.
I can't lie, I didn't care about Nash.
Talking of Nash, they've increased the height on it.
Yeah, apparently they have.
I can't remember what it was now. Can someone Google it or someone in the chat will tell us?
Now it's 1.5, I think. I don't know. I think it's something like that. I don't know. 1.42, 1.5 now. I think maybe.
Talking to it about because Emma was saying from Top for Tourists, like her daughter like loves it, and now she was being able to do it, and now she can't do it. That's so sad, isn't it? She's not being able to do it. There must be a reason.
She's gonna message Amanda Thompson.
Yeah. Please do it, Lola.
Get a TikTok going. Show that out.
132 centimeters is what it's saying on the website.
All right.
Was it 122 then before?
I don't know.
At 1.2.
But it's interesting that begs the question. It was 117 and now it's 130.
Ooh.
But it begs the question: why? Do you think we got new trains potentially? Potentially, that could be a thing.
I think it could be a mixture of maybe trains and profile. Like it might be a bit more floaty.
Maybe
with the new profile they're putting in, because the Big Dippers drop. Scott did a great video on that. The Big Dippers drop changed dramatically. The first drop, it was so much nicer. So if they're doing this across national, it's going to be a different beast, because that layout is a beastie airtime machine when it's running.
With it's like a complete retrack in the sense that all the planks of wood are being retracked, not just like the top 2 or something like that. So you can imagine that it will, with what you said, Luke. Like you can imagine it will have the potential of running faster.
Yeah,
like considerably faster.
Faster over the hills, faster over the airtime. Yeah, faster at the bottom of them, which means you're going to come out and seat more.
Yeah.
New trains, though. I don't know. It's an interesting topic, though. Could it be?
Yeah.
Finally.
I just the whole like restriction. Like normally when a height restriction, to me that normally signals something to do with the restraint.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, new restraints signal new trains. Potentially, I don't know. I might be reading too much into it, but that's the way I'm thinking. I can't imagine. I can't.
No, give it buzz bars.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine Grand National buzz bars bucket up?
Oh mate,
could you feel like riding it in the 70s?
Yeah.
Emma said she imagines it's an insurance thing. But why would it change now? That's what I don't understand. I mean, it's been fine for like ages, but I don't know. We don't know the insides and outs, so it's something could have significantly changed. So
keep an eye on Pleasure Beach's rides patch shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be fair, if Scott Scott's pretty good with his update videos. So if we haven't seen a new train in the parking in the car park, then maybe not. I'm sure we'll see soon enough, if or not. So, but yeah, that's about it for Big One testing. Flamingo Land finally moving with the new coaster construction. I mean, yeah,
news list, isn't it? Yeah, I just thought I'd include this because
we've been giving them shit for the last 2 years.
Yeah, and they're finally moving along with it.
Yeah,
it looks solid, the work that they're putting in. It looks like looks like a path. Looks like a path. No. I don't mean the ride itself. I mean the work that they're doing at the moment looks solid. Like it looks like they're putting a path underneath, like going underneath like some of the rolls towards the, the Cobra roll side of the ride area, and provide some cool guest interaction.
I just feel like I've marketed this coaster more with Manual Limits recreation than they have with the whole thing that they did. And I did that 2 years ago, so it's like
was it really 2 years ago?
Yeah, I've had to change the title on it twice. 2020 to 2021 and 2022.
You know what? I don't mind that paint job it's had. I think it actually looks quite smart.
It looks.
I don't think it looks. I don't think it looks like everyone's going Icon. I was like, it looks very different to Icon. No way.
Before it just looked like it was sponsored by McDonald's. So there you go.
A Big Mac
still is.
Still got your fries.
We ran out of the coat.
I mean, to be fair, that looks iconic, doesn't it? That just reminds me of Icon.
But it's just because it's what it is. But the lack of, I know it's early days. I can't believe I'm saying that, but like it is early days in terms of theming elements and stuff. Like there doesn't seem to be much other than a few troughs and.
I don't see Flamingo Land as a themey place. Though.
I don't know. Like they could though.
They could.
Yeah,
but. I don't think
they could, but any amusement park could theme the rides.
I don't think if Pleasure Beach were like, it does look good. But yeah, I think when if Pleasure Beach are making a new coaster, I don't even think where's the theming gonna go? Like it's not really that style. I mean, like Kamali is pretty cool in terms of they have the rock work and stuff. It's got a good arch gate and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think if they just make it look nice, I'll settle for that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It needs to look. I think with what paint job they've gone for, it needs to look sharp.
Like I just want it to look like. I hope they put in sharp. At least put in some greenery and stuff,
It's going to look like a Wetherspoon toilet, Sean. That's what it's going to look like. Marble and just grey and.
I mean, Wetherspoon's toilets not that bad, to be fair.
Some of them are okay.
Award-winning toilets.
Before everybody gets there, some of them are all right.
But
yeah, it takes you about 5 years to get to them, though.
Yeah,
because they're never
anywhere.
It's
taken 2 years to get to. Miles away. It's just taken long enough to get to it. I just think. It's just going to look sharp. It's going to look stylish. I think maybe a little.
I really want them to do an update. Like how Disney Magic Kingdom did with Tron, where they was just like, we're now entering into phase 2. That was the funniest. That was the funniest video. Where it's like, okay, what 3 years later, we're now entering into phase 2. Like. What? We've been in phase 1 this entire time.
Like, bro, just build the fucking thing.
Phase 1 was enthusiasts just talking about it, right? Wasn't even anything to do with it.
Yeah,
we called this coaster 7 years ago.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it's good to see. We were complaining on this podcast months and months ago about why is there no work being done. So at least there is stuff, that activity is going on around it.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning. If we're gonna call out the park for not doing anything with it, then you should shout them out for
behind the curtain, Sean,
actually showing
hell,
progress.
Just show them out.
I know, yeah,
you know
just
what I mean? Like,
yeah,
pulling it back there.
just showed the wizard off.
Yes, we use Microsoft Word. And what?
Wow, yeah.
Some of us do.
So, next up, away from Flamingo Land, is Toutatis.
Toutatis.
I still don't think that's how you say it.
Toutatis?
Two titties.
Sounds like
I'm joking.
There you go. Two titties. That's what it is now.
Oh, titty.
Toutatis sounds like some kind of
condiment. Titty. Reminds me of a professor.
I shall let Google Translate decide how it's pronounced.
Oh,
I think it's Toutatis.
Evening Sam.
I think
Toutatis.
That still sounds like
Toutatis.
two titties, but like
Toutatis.
in a different accent.
Two titties. But yeah, so there's been some images leaked online. I say leaked.
I think it's Toutatis.
Toutatis.
Yeah.
Toutatis.
Toutatis, did you just say?
No, Toutatis.
This is going
Says,
wrong.
Google
pull up the
pronounces
track,
it.
please, Sean.
Oh yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know what Toutatis is, it is a swing launch Intamin Blitz coaster in the same vein as Pantheon at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. That is going to be opening at Parc Astérix next year. They're aiming for.
It's so close to us.
It's.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember what the theme is going to be. I think it's an.
It's a god. They're all based on gods, aren't they, and stuff like Greek.
Yeah,
god.
I think it's a.
The translation I'm getting is a lattice, so potentially Atlantis.
No,
That's so dirty.
It does have the theme song in place, but anyway, yeah, these images of some of the elements are really cool.
Yeah. I think it looks really nice.
If you go back, all right, yeah. Stay on that one. This piece of track that like is unending, but it just ends at the moment. Like that comes up into.
I'm gonna say it's unending. It literally ends.
Yeah, I was about to say the unfinished piece of track. That is gonna be the valley out of the top hat. So what you're looking at is the base of the top hat. So, exactly. So, and this top hat is supposed to be, I think, somewhere in the region of about 165 feet tall.
That's gonna be a fast section.
You come out of that into that sharp left-right, up into the stall. That's gonna be good.
That's gonna be mental.
Yeah,
that's gonna be good.
Insane. Oh, it looks
That's
so good.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
I need to see that top hat though, with that connected, because
yeah.
I can't.
I think there are going to be
transition.
I think there are going to be a few moments on this that are going to be really, really good, but overall, it's hard to gauge, obviously, because the thing's half built. But going off of the rendering of the POV that we saw from IAPA, like I can't even remember what year that was. Like 2019, maybe, or something like that.
It was a while ago. It had a red track, right?
Yeah, it was a while ago, and I don't know how it'll start. Obviously, you can't go off of that because it's just a rendering. But, like,
if that's what
these elements and these transitions look very good. So like it'll be interesting to see how it stacks up to the likes of, Velocicoaster, Taron, Tiger, Pantheon, like all the rest of them and stuff.
It looks nuts.
It does.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can outright say it'll be on the level of some of those, but it'll be interesting.
I think it will. I think it will at least be at the level of Pantheon. I actually think this looks a little bit better personally.
It looks the layout looks more interesting than Pantheon.
Yeah,
there's definitely much more in there.
yeah.
There's an Amusement Insider. They did the video in November 2018.
Yeah.
2023 coaster, so it's been a while. but it looks nuts. I'm just watching the rendering of that in an NR2. That top hat, left, right stall. My goodness, that looks crazy.
The one thing that's irking me about the top hat is that it seems like there's trim brakes on the top of the top hat, and it like holds the train there before letting it drop. It's almost like an anticipation kind of hold. Just please don't do that. Just let the train go. just let it float over the top and then just let it go down. Because I mean, like people who have ridden Velocicoaster, you've seen like if you're on that back row, and I don't know if this is going to have a 6-car train or anything, but in that back row, bro, like the ejector airtime over that top hat in the back row.
Yeah,
I want this to have that same ejector. Don't waste that. Don't waste that with trim brakes, please.
Right. Poseidon's Fury. Anyone?
Yeah. So I just thought this
opened.
Yeah.
The attraction that just keeps on going, man. Like, how many times does everyone think it's like going? I'm so glad because you know what, I've still not done it.
Neither have I. Neither. I'm glad
it was closed when I went, and it looks just seriously interesting to me. Like, it looks like a cool walkthrough experience. It's got a really cool history of how the ride was like meant to be, and then how it ended up, and then how it was. Yeah, I think like Expedition Theme Park did a great like video on it or documentary on it. But yeah, so has it had like a complete? I've not looked into it, but has it been a rehaul, or is it just open again?
I think Amusement Insider tweeted about it the other day. I don't. Hang on, let me see if I can find what he said. I think he said something along the lines of not that much changed in terms of like the things that you can actually see. So maybe it was just like an internal, logistic kind of.
They just couldn't open it because of COVID and maybe like staffing issues.
And then, here it is. Poseidon's Fury is now open at Islands. All effects working. It's just as I remember. Didn't notice any upgrades or changes.
Just works.
Incredible that.
It
just works now.
Good.
And then decided to reopen it.
So Luke,
I'm really glad they had, because like you said, I haven't done it. I did want to try it.
It's almost it was really cool when I was there, even though I didn't get to ride it. Just walking past it because it looks so like classic Island of Adventure sort of thing. It's what you thought like when I used to see like adverts from like Universal and stuff. It was like this is like what it was meant to be really when it was in its first incarnation and stuff. So it's a really staple ride. And I mean, I'm sure one day it will go because it's a big old footprint it has. Even just like the plaza up to it and stuff, it's flipping huge. But yeah, I'm glad that there and the fact that all the effects are working. It's a very effects heavy attraction, so I can't imagine it's not like no mean feat, like kind of keeping on top of that. So even if nothing has changed, the fact that all the effects are working on it and stuff means they have been working on it. So that's cool. Yeah,
like I don't know what kind of shape it was in before they decided to close it. Like I don't know if effects were. I don't know if there were effects not working or anything. No. But if it, as long as, well, if they've got it back to how it was at its peak, then happy days.
Yeah, and that means you get to experience it as well, Luke.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another one on the list. Things to
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, mate, you'll be in the park anyway. So
yeah, I know. Like, everything
for very obvious reasons.
Yeah, there's 2 attractions that I really regret missing out on, but it was just purely down to the fact that they were just lower down on my list, and it was Kong and Transformers. So when I go back this year, I'm definitely going to try and experience them. But it just got to the point. I mean, you'll experience this as well, Luke. When you go there, it's like, do I re-ride like these amazing attractions that I know that flipping sick, or do I potentially go New Kong that has like really mixed reviews? Where some people love it, some people hate it. It's that sort of thing, really.
I think what I'm going to struggle with the most is Disney stuff. We're not too close to Disney. We're at the other end. We're at Universal Land. So everything at Universal I'm going to cover. Absolutely not unless it's down.
How many days are you giving to the 2 Universal parks?
5.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
So
and then in between,
Green Islands, 2 in Studios.
And well, we're literally a 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
From City Walk. So it's like
that's
going to be our place to go. Like at night, not Springs.
Cool. So that was going to be the second thing I was going to ask. Like, how many just free evenings do you have? Because
loads.
Like
at the moment,
Universal Orlando is perfect for that.
Yes.
Right. Like you can quite easily go get something to eat on City Walk and then just go grab a ride on Hulk or whatever or whatever. Yeah.
How did you know my first night?
Oh, gee, I don't know. You've only told me 17 times.
Wait, I thought your first night was going to Icon Park and doing the drop tower.
He's been saying fresh off the plane. He's
it's going straight there.
You're having to do that drop tower.
Icon Park is next door to our hotel. I could do that anytime I wanted. Like Velocicoaster.
Every night you have to do
drop tower. Absolutely not.
Because I know you hate drop towers.
I can't stand them.
I think the issue you're gonna have when you go there is that it's the same with me. Like I had so much energy and I wanted to keep on going, and then I ended up having to go to parks by myself for a few times because I know for a fact Danielle is gonna want to have some chill days. So just make sure you plan that in. Because luckily we was with Joe's family, so Joe could just be like, I'm got people to chill with, but I couldn't have just left Joe by herself.
I wouldn't
just make sure you just have to, because it's a lot of walking. Obviously, it's so much walking, and in that humidity as well. The Disney. I think you're going to struggle with the Disney stuff just because there's so many parks and so much stuff to do. But like I say, I think I did about 4 days at Universal altogether, and I still didn't get everything in. I think it come to one point when it's like our last day there, and I had to choose out of ET or Transformers, and I was like, I'm going to do ET, man. It's such a classic ride. I was like, I'm going to do ET, and I'm glad it's such a great ride. And,
I made a point to get back on ET last time I was there last November. I hadn't done it since I was literally 11 years old. So I made a point to get back on it. It's a nice ride, is that?
I'm wondering if I'm wondering if Tron's going to be open. I'll go in June. What do you reckon?
It'll be in phase 5 by then.
I'll be in phase 8.
No, it'll be in phase 2.2.
If I get to shoot a video of it just going around the track and get it on YouTube straight away, I'll be happy.
You should be able to get Guardians though.
That's true. Yeah, Guardians.
When I went in 2019, it was flipping built. The track was in.
So this is why you got heat on it. Then you're this has already been built. It's
literally already been built, and that was 2019. Start of March or whatever. Velocicoaster was I think the footers were going in when I was there, but no one really knew what was going on. But Tron was built. What? It just makes no sense in my head. I remember going around on the People Mover, because that's the best way you can actually go and see it on the People Mover. And you get really close to it. And I was taking photos of it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be done soon."
Soft opening tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be done soon. I mean, saying that, Gwazi was also built, and there's rumors of it soft opening. So, but that's already open now. So there we go.
I think years of just put them away, seal them in a vault somewhere. Forget them out.
But it's been just quickly though on Gwazi, it's been great seeing some people's vlogs from the actual opening now, and seeing a lot more POVs and man, like it's made me so much more excited now. I've actually seen like, mate, it looks insane. Like it looks so flipping good. Yeah, I'm more excited now.
I'm just gonna
So I think
like you know how much Velocicoaster means to me. I can completely understand people saying they prefer it to Velocicoaster. Like
as a coaster.
Well, I mean, depending on what people place value on in coaster experiences.
Sure,
because obviously, Velocicoaster is way ahead in the theming and presentation, and the actual experiential side of it. But
no, I kind of get that, right? Because it's not necessarily like down to. I mean, when you're looking at, it's when I look at Taron, like I know for a fact probably like objectively Velocicoaster is better than Taron, but Taron has such a big place in my heart because like I just love the theme in the area, like Klugheim and everything, and like I don't know, like the coaster's never like connected with me on that level before. So I think Velocicoaster is going to be great, but I still don't think it will take place of Taron. So I get what you're about to say in terms of like that connection you had with Velocicoaster. Even if a coaster is objectively better, it still doesn't mean that it's going to be necessarily like overtake it. You know what I mean? So
that's what I'm thinking. Like what's the like a coaster's going to have to I mean blow my mind more so than any other coaster ever has. In order to take the top spot from like I can't really think of something short of like Age and Acre or something like that. That is just, and I mean like having ridden X2, like I can only imagine how much more wild Age and Acre is than not Age and Acre even, sorry, is than X2.
Looks insane. Like stupid. It just looks stupid.
But like Zadra, I've said this before, like Zadra is more intense than Velocicoaster, but Velocicoaster is intense enough with everything else about the experience being on such a higher level than something than Zadra. So one, it's going to be interesting to see what I think of it what I think of Gwazi compared to Velocicoaster because of that. And two, like, I mean, like what will what could eclipse Velocicoaster for me?
It's hard to try and think of how.
Yeah.
What franchise would as well? Like a coaster based off a franchise. Like, because that's half the battle with Velocicoaster. It's got such a good theme, such a good IP.
Yeah, but then again, I don't know if that is that important really, because I honestly couldn't care. I love Jurassic Park, but I couldn't care less about Jurassic World. Like I don't really, I don't think they're that good personally. So but like I'm able to separate myself away from that and be like, if it tells a good story, it looks good, that's absolutely fine. But like, yeah, I'm not that bothered about like Jurassic World. But what they have created, the immersiveness of it and stuff. And
what I mean though, in terms of like, you might not dig it, but it's still one of the biggest things, movie wise.
Well, it's like happened, it's like it's the application of it, isn't it?
Yeah, like, sure. That's what I'm trying to get.
Like, Velocicoaster is so well executed in terms of everything that it encompasses. Yeah. You contrast that with what Disney are doing with Avengers Campus.
Yeah, it's just like it's whether or not
so many much better ways that they could have done Avengers Campus, because that's such a wide scope of things that you could do.
It's just what it is. It's the soul. Like it has like that sounds a bit too deep, but like almost like the depth of it. Like if you look at Ruckberg, for example, the depth of that, like is insane. And the same with, for me, the same with like Klugheim. Like it's just so detailed, and it feels like you're in an actual, like whatever it is you're telling. It could be any storyline. I wouldn't care. Like as long as it's done well, that's what matters. And so, for example, Ruckberg is its own thing, and it just succeeds so well at it, and it has a massive difference on what it can do.
Would you say then, over the ride experience, that immersion, that the theming brings to an attraction, not the theme in itself, but the immersion that it brings is up there with how intense the coaster is as well, in terms of an overall attraction. So the immersion that the theming brings, obviously the coaster is just a track, it's just steel. But when you put it all together, Velocicoaster encompassed this in one package and just knocked it out the park. That's why I think Mikhail's like, I don't know what's gonna break that boundary between like extreme.
Well, yeah, this like that's the same thing from, like I say, that's the same thing for me with Taron. Is that it doesn't matter if objectively it's a better coaster.
Yeah, for sure.
It's how you connected with like everything. What it was about, everything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you have to be like the biggest Jurassic World fan to be like, Velocicoaster is my favorite coaster. It's it's like, it's everything, isn't it? It's everything. That's
I've not seen a single Jurassic World movie.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
There you go.
Like the IP is great,
though, isn't it?
Yeah,
even if you don't know the IP.
Yeah, it's like pretty much everyone's. Yeah. The Jurassic World is a great draw for like the general public, because you're like, Jurassic World, like a lot of people, I've seen all the Jurassic World films, but like everyone knows it, so it's a great draw. But again, like you can you imagine like a British family who are not coaster enthusiasts, but they just happen to be in Phantasialand, and then they enter into like Ruckberg, they would be like blown away by it. And it's that's the thing with Disney, like classic Disney, they didn't have IP, they created their own IPs for rides, and that's why they were so successful, which obviously is why people are moaning a little bit now. It's like they're too dependent on their actual film stuff, but that's what they were good at doing, and I'd love to see. So, but I don't think it matters if it's an IP or not. But for example, Saw is great at Thought. Like, I think that's brilliant, and I think most people, even if you haven't seen the Saw films, you kind of know what it's about.
Yeah.
And it's a great example of how they've
it's a horror
built
thing.
that into the ride. Yeah, you kind of know.
And then
what it's about.
to contrast all of this, some people don't care about theming at all.
Yeah,
like they just want coaster on ground, right? And that's fine
literally,
too.
That's it. Yeah,
that's of course that's fine too, and that's where I understand why some people may prefer other more intense coasters like Zadra, like Gwazi, like I-305, like Skyrush, like maybe Ride to Happiness. I don't know. Like that, I can see why, if you are someone who just doesn't really care about everything else that goes into the experiential side of thrill coasters, and you just want coaster and forces, right? Like I can understand it.
Yeah, definitely. On that note, it's the end of the show. So we've been going bloody hell, we've been getting nearly 2 hours.
Subscribe.
Right. So make sure, if you are still watching, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us. Please give the video a like. Make sure you're subscribed. It's opening weekend, baby. It's happening.
Woo! Let's go.
Everything's
Let's
opening.
go.
My body is ready. Like I'm
the vlogs in
literally
the world.
I've got tomorrow in work, and then that's it. And I'm like, I just once 5:30 hits the door,
then you're done.
Do you remember when I was saying I had a sort of like just time period where I was just like, I really don't feel like I need to go back to Towers anymore. But that need to get back on Nemesis has returned.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go marathon Nemesis for a bit. I don't know if I get to marathon it, but like I'm ready to go get a few rides on Nemesis now.
We'll try. We will try.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks everyone for watching. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend, no matter what you do.